What's going on, my peoples? And I go by name the Sorcerer, and I'm here to speak on a situation in regards to a social media influencer by the name of Lil Tay. Now, she's been exposed to media from a very young age, all right? And for those that don't know her, she is a Canadian musician and she's known in the social media world with memes. You might have seen her through clips on X, even TikTok, I'm sure YouTube as well. And before I even go into it, I just want to make this clear. This isn't a shot at her. This is not a character attack or a hit piece on her. This is just to highlight a deeper issue. Now, let me get into the context of things. Lil Tay, I believe she's of Asian descent, so Southeast Asian descent, and she's been in the limelight since she's been a child, right? So she's been exposed to it. I'd even go as far to say exploitation. Yes, exploitation. The problem that lies with what my take's about is she's recently joined OnlyFans, and that's not a problem in regards to you're an adult now, you make your choices. Well, the deeper issue that I have is really alarming to just not a shot at her, but the shot towards men out there. You have known that she has been a child through media from a very young age, and you've basically subscribed and about to pay for content. Now she's just been on social media and basically said that she made $1 million or a couple of $1 million. Don't quote me on that, but she has made a great amount of money. Now, the sad thing about the situation for me is it isn't so much about the money. It's more towards the factors of her going into OnlyFans and anticipating that there is a following, a wanting to see her content. So, if we go about it from a logical standpoint, there are men out there that would have known of this information, literally waited until she was barely legal, and actually subscribed to the channel or subscribed to never used OnlyFans, but I can imagine it's a situation where you pay for content. That's the alarming piece because it's all about the context of it. We have to go through context. And you know this situation. Yes, you've known this situation that this child that was in the limelight, on the limelight, excuse me, in the limelight, and you've seen her from a young age to a point where it is a situation where you've paid. If we remove OnlyFans, let's just remove the idea and the notion of her using that. By and large, everything else, apart from the factors that you pay, feels very much of, let's call it what it is grooming. Grooming, predatory, absolutely predatory. There's no difference towards knowing that information and about to pay for her content. Now, the reason why I want to call a spade is because at the end of the day, this is in a sad state of affairs, especially during this time. This is a typical archetype of a child star or a person of a young age going into the limelight and boom, anticipating making money through these type of platforms, knowing that there are people out there that would basically simp off that. But to think about it deeper than simping, the information is that you guys knew, or men that have purchased that knew. This is, and when I say archetype, there are too many examples. The Catch Me Outside girl. I mean, I can't even remember her name. But when she turned 18, that was the time when the pattern was the same. And that's for me is very scary because having to knowing that at that particular age and that particular time is when you're about to press the trigger or when they're about to turn legal. Now, people will put the counter argument and say, "Oh, it's it's legal." Okay, but isn't it immoral? What you're doing is, especially when it comes to grooming, is you are paying essentially for the coverage because you know that the patterns are the younger the person is, there's an innocence about that. I want to just highlight for me that really concerns me, especially when it comes to the weirdos, the weirdos out there, and the people who are paying for these content. And I have to call them people out, but you guys are just a bunch of bozos. It's really weird to be in that space and to even have that psyche into thinking, oh, I'm just counting down the days until she turns 18. And this is this is what's happening in society. And I think at the end of the day, when people are out there really making um quite rightly concerns and posts about people who pay for these situations, such as OnlyFans. I mean, as it is, I don't co-sign OnlyFans anyway. It's not something that I think it's healthy for society whatsoever. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's my personal view. But what I go deeper than that is that there are people out there that are paying for those services, and I just think to myself, at the end of the day, for being completely and utterly serious, there is a growing epidemic of people who are being predatory. It's for me, I want to call it legal predatory, or it's a way of knowing that you can get away with basically grooming. And yes, these are very, very strong words, but I am saying this with my strong opinion. I'm calling those people out there because you are part of the problem. And that's just the truth and the reality. And that is my take on the situation in regards to Lil Tay. All right? Sorcerer.